Hey everyone! Today we're going to be making a reusable produce bag. Let's take a look and see what we have in our kits. Some fabric, some cord, thread, a sewing needle, clips, a fastener for your cord, and a needle threader. First, I'm going to start with threading my needle. I'm going into here and just taking the thread off of the spool. Of course, I have blue thread while you guys have white, because I always forget to purchase a new spool of thread for myself. Going ahead here and using probably about a meter. Going ahead here, I'm just going to grab my needle threader, placing it inside the eye of the needle. I'm then going to take my thread and put it through the eye of the needle threader, putting it probably through about 2 inches. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull my needle off, and now my needle is threaded. Now that my needle's threaded, I'm going to make sure that both of the sides of my thread are the same length. So I'm holding one end and pulling the other until they are even. Once they're even, I can make a knot in the end. Making my knot is just going to be the thread wrapped around my index finger, probably about 3 to 4 times, it depends. Obviously, the more times you wrap, the thicker your knot will be. Going ahead and wrapping it here. I'm going to take my thumb and roll the thread off of my finger. There we go, just rolling. You might need to mess with it a little bit. Often when I do this, it gets stuck on my nail. But there we go. So you just want to hold it tight so that the knot comes to the end. Now I'm going to lay out my fabric, making sure that the longest side is at the top. You should have little black marks on the longest side because this is where I measured each piece of fabric. I'm going to take my clips and fold over the top edge just about an inch. You've been given 4 clips so you can go along the top edge. Now I'm going to go ahead with my thread and needle and start at one side. Doesn't matter which side you start, left or right. I did start on the right side here. We're just going to go in, and we're making sure that our knot is on the same side that we folded over, because this is going to be the inside of our bag. Now that we've gone all along the top edge, we can see that I have now run out of space. So I'm going to go ahead and put my needle through the last stitch that I made, pulling it through, not all the way, leaving a loop there. And I'm going to go ahead and actually put my needle through the loop about 3 to 4 times, wrapping the thread around. When you pull the needle through and hold the string tight, it makes a knot, so it finishes your thread perfectly. Now that my top stitch is all done, I'm going to go ahead and take my clips off, setting them aside because I'm going to need them again. I'm going to then fold my fabric in half, making sure that the top seam I just made is along the top. But when I'm looking at it, the fabric is still folded over towards me. Remember, this is our bag inside out. This is where we're going to put all of our seams so that we don't see them when the bag is all the right way. I'm going to go ahead and clip the side here just so it stays together. Because we folded the piece of fabric in half, we really only have to make 2 seams here. Going ahead here, I'm just going to start my stitch on the left-hand side again, leaving about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch room on the outside for what's called the inseam. I'm just going to make that single stitch like I did before all the way around. Make sure that as you're doing the stitch on the other side, you do not go over the seam you made. We want to leave these portions open for the cord. So go ahead and finish off your thread there. And then we're going to go and place our bag inside out, or right side out, I guess. Now we're going to go ahead and get to the fun part, putting our cord through. You'll see we've left these two little spots open where we've created our seams so that our cord can go through it. Because cord is a little bit more stiff than, say, a ribbon or shoelace, you really don't need any help. It just takes a little bit of wiggling and you can make the cord go all the way through. We want it to go all the way around in a circle so that we have two ends at the same spot. Now that we have our cord through, I'm going to go ahead and pull them so they're even. Then we're going to take our fastener, which is really fun, and I love that the fabric store has them. What we're going to do is actually close it, so clamp it shut, place one piece through the hole, and then the other through the other hole. When you have the fastener closed this way, it opens the holes, and then when you let it go, it actually closes the holes. Using this, you'll be able to close and open your reusable produce bag very easily, keeping your fruit and vegetables nice and fresh. Last thing we're going to do is go ahead and throw 2 knots in the end of our cord. Doing this is going to stop our fastener from falling off. So when we open our produce bag, if we didn't have the stop, our fastener would just fly off. With the stops here, it can't go anywhere. So you can go ahead and put it in both, roughly around the same mark. You want it closer to the end so you have more room. Go ahead and tighten those up well and check the fastener. It's not going anywhere. Then from there, we can admire and use. I hope you guys had a great time creating this. I had a great time making it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.